Welcome to second grade math tools. In this math workshop, we will take a deep dive into what math tools, the manipulatives and the representations, that we should use with our young mathematicians to impact their understanding of core mathematical concepts. We will explore why we should provide math tools for our students, what tools to provide, how, and when. Whether you are an educator new to teaching second grade, a homeschool parent teaching your young mathematician, or an experienced second grade teacher, our hope is that this math workshop will provide support and guidance for you as you teach your children mathematics. These are the 4 domain areas for mathematics for second grade: operations and algebraic thinking, number and operations in base 10, measurement and data, and geometry. Let's talk about why we should provide math tools for our students. We agree with this quote from Paul Halmos: "The only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics." We believe that providing math tools for students to use in math class offers a wide range of benefits, transforming abstract mathematical concepts into concrete, understandable experiences. Many math concepts like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, place value, or algebraic equations are inherently abstract. Math tools provide a tangible way for students to see and touch these concepts, making them more concrete and easier to grasp and to remember. Providing hands-on experience helps bridge the gap between abstract mathematical ideas and real-world scenarios. Math can sometimes feel dry or intimidating. Manipulatives introduce an element of play, exploration, and interactivity, making math lessons more engaging and fun. Increased engagement often leads to a more positive attitude towards math, fostering a lifelong love of learning and reducing math anxiety. Not all students learn in the same way. Manipulatives cater to kinesthetic or hands-on and visual learners, providing multiple pathways to understanding. They are particularly beneficial for students who struggle with traditional abstract instruction, including students who have been performing as low achievers, students with learning disabilities, and English language learners. By building a strong foundation in conceptual understanding through manipulatives, students are better prepared to tackle more complex mathematical concepts in the future, including those in algebra and beyond. Here are some of the big ideas of second grade math, which are going to help us focus in on what math tools are most important to include. Understanding place value, building foundations for multiplication, working with addition and subtraction within 100, measure and estimate lengths and standard units, representing data using line plots and bar graphs, tell time to the nearest 5 minutes, partition rectangles into rows and columns, partition circles and rectangles into halves, thirds, and fourths. Base 10 blocks. These blocks, so we see the ones, the tens, the hundreds, and the thousands, are essential for teaching place value, understanding number representation, and performing addition and subtraction with multi-digit numbers. They allow students to physically manipulate objects to develop understanding of these concepts. The base 10 blocks help students grasp the concept of place value by physically representing numbers. In second grade, they're really going to use the ones, those unit cubes, the tens, or some teachers call them longs or rods, and the hundreds, or the flats. This visual aid helps students to understand the position of a digit in a number determines its value. For addition and subtraction, students can physically manipulate the blocks to perform addition and subtraction, making the concepts more concrete and easier to understand. This allows them to see the process of regrouping or trading when adding and subtracting, which is crucial for developing a deeper understanding of arithmetic, especially in the upper grades when they're going to move to that standard algorithm for addition and subtraction. Then it's going to make sense because they will have really understood what was going on here in second grade. Students will add and subtract in second grade within 1,000, that's the second grade math standard, using concrete models or drawings and strategies based on place value, properties of operations, and the relationship between addition and subtraction. Students will relate the strategy to a written method, understanding that in adding and subtracting three-digit numbers, one adds or subtracts hundreds with hundreds, tens with tens, and ones with ones. And sometimes it's necessary to compose or decompose those hundreds or tens. So that's going to lead them to understanding the standard algorithm in later grades. A hundred chart, a visual representation of the numbers 1 to 100 arranged in a grid, offers numerous benefits for young mathematicians, particularly in developing number sense and mathematical skills. You can get large teacher demonstration 100 chart that has pockets for the cards. You can put that in a center and have students build it and take it down. Students should have individual hundreds charts. They could be laminated or not, depending on your different purposes. Sometimes you want to have them finding different patterns, so they might be using different colored pencils to represent the different patterns. That could tie in with skip counting or multiples. Here is a second grade math standard, which the 100 chart can support. Mentally add 10 or 100 to a given number, and mentally subtract 10 or 100 from a given number. So initially, we're really going to have students making those hops on the hundreds chart. For example, if I have 47 and I need to add 10 more, we want students initially to go to the chart and see, oh, 47 plus 10 more, 57. Or 27, take away 10. Oh, let me look on the chart. Oh, it's just a hop up to 17. So eventually, after students have had enough experience with the 100 chart, they're just going to do this mentally. And it won't be an issue at all for them. They'll just have it down because of all their experience with the chart. The chart provides a concrete visual representation of the numbers 1 to 100, making it easier for children to understand the sequence and counting effectively. Also helping with that count, the skip counting by 2s, 5s, and 10s. Students will be looking for patterns. There's so many patterns on the 100 chart. A great exploration for students is giving them a 100 chart, maybe with a partner, and give them a few minutes to really stop and look, what are all the patterns that they notice? For example, do they notice that in rows, the number in the ones place goes up sequentially by 1 in every row? Do they notice patterns in the columns? What patterns do they notice? Where do the digits in the tens place stay the same? Where do they increase sequentially? Why is this? So there's so much you can do with the hundreds chart. For adding and subtracting, this chart can be used to visualize addition and subtracting strategies, especially the counting on strategy or counting back strategy. So much work can be done with the 100 chart. Here are some measurement math tools that our second graders would really benefit from using. Here are second grade math standards. Measure the length of an object by selecting and using appropriate tools such as rulers, yardsticks, meter sticks, and measuring tapes. Measure the length of an object twice using length units of different lengths for the two measurements. So maybe we're going to measure this pencil first using, or let's make it something larger. This table, maybe first we're going to use yardsticks, and maybe the next time we're going to use a ruler and comparing those measurements. Estimating lengths using units of inches, feet, centimeters, and meters. So in second grade, this is the first time students are using standard measurement. In first grade, they were using non-standard measurement. So they might be measuring the width of their desk. Maybe they were using little plastic teddy bears. They were using the same item. Maybe they were using a crayon, but it was a non-standard item. And notice in second grade that students are going to be using US customary, so those inches and the yard and the feet, and they're going to be using metric, so the centimeters and the meters. Here's another second grade measurement standard. Measure to determine how much longer one object is than another, expressing the length difference in terms of a standard length unit. So again, that's just standard units, whatever you decide, if it's inches or centimeters or feet. Use addition and subtraction within 100 to solve word problems involving lengths that are given in the same unit by using drawings, such as drawings of rulers, and equations with a symbol for the unknown number to represent the problem. Number lines are another tool that can help with measurement standards in second grade. Here is another measurement standard from second grade. Represent whole numbers as links from 0 on a number line diagram with equally spaced points. It just means that equal space between the hash marks or the points corresponding to the numbers 0, 1, 2, and so on, and represent whole number sums and differences within 100 on a number line diagram. That's why it's really essential that kindergarten teachers use number paths. Number paths are a precursor to number lines. So we see a number line example, and we can see how students on the slide could use a number line to add 8 to 12. So they're counting those hops, and they arrive at 20. Another area of measurement for second grade is around time. Here's the standard. Tell and write time from analog and digital clocks to the nearest 5 minutes using AM and PM. So a demonstration Judy clock and a class set of Judy clocks is essential for the analog portion of that standard. You also see money on the screen, play money. So here's a second grade measurement standard around money. Solve word problems involving quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies using the dollar sign and the cent sign symbols appropriately. So again, play money can be very useful here. Geometry. Here are the geometry standards for second grade. Recognize and draw shapes having specified attributes such as a given number of angles or a given number of equal faces. Identify triangles, quadrilaterals, pentagons, hexagons, and cubes. Partition a rectangle into rows and columns of same size squares and count to find the total number in them. We can provide the math tools of grid paper and inch tiles to help with that idea. Then students are going to be linking the addition equation. You'll see that kind of peach example, the rectangle at the top of the slide, where you see 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So we're counting those columns of the 3 squares. And notice it's addition because in second grade, we're supporting our students for third grade learning. In third grade, they can turn that into 5 groups of 3, or depending on how it is 15, depending on how you orient or look at your rectangle, or 3 groups of 5 equals 15. But in second grade, we really want to stay with that repeated addition because, again, we're hoping our students will really see this connection and have this deep understanding to link addition with multiplication in third grade. Here's some more geometry standards for second grade. Partition circles and rectangles into 2, 3, or 4 equal shares. Then describe the shares using the words halves, thirds, half of, a third of, fourths, a fourth of. So again, we're laying that foundational groundwork for third grade fraction work. So we're starting the work now. We really recommend using paper, circles, and rectangles so students can physically fold and cut to partition those circles and rectangles into 2 parts, 3 parts, and 4 parts. Here are the top 4 comments that we get from teachers on why they don't use math tools for their students. And I'll be honest with you, mostly these come from upper grade teachers in our experience. So not necessarily second grade. Number 1, we don't have the time. 2, I don't know how and why to use them. And probably the most popular one we hear is number 3, my students can't handle it. Number 4, well, I didn't learn that way, so why should my students? And hopefully this math workshop helped you with the second comment, providing the rationale for the how and the why. We respect that you are the professional in your classroom, and it is your decision on how to provide the best instruction possible for your students. We want you to consider that comment for number 1, we don't have the time, that your students' time spent truly understanding math concepts through the use of math tools leads to deeper understanding. So then they will have that memory retention of the math concepts because they really understood it. If students don't understand why they're performing math steps or why they're following certain procedures in a math problem, it's very likely they're going to forget what they were doing, how they were doing it, meaning next year they're going to have to relearn it because they didn't really internalize it the previous year. And it tends to lead to a lot of mistakes because it doesn't really make sense to them. So our gentle response to the first comment is, how can you not take the time for real learning and understanding? We encourage you to watch this math workshop again and share it with a colleague. We know that teaching is so much easier and so much more amazing when we have the support of working alongside colleagues who are committed to collaboration and sharing in this educational journey together. For the third comment, my students can't handle it, the next slide will offer tips for successful implementation that teachers have used. And for the fourth comment, I didn't learn that way, so why should my students? Our response is that research shows that most learners, and that's adults and children, learn best through tactile, hands-on, and visual experiences, especially in mathematics, where the concepts tend to be very abstract. And I have a bonus comment for you. Number 5, bonus. This is typically from third grade teachers and up. They'll say, they can't use that math tool on the end of the year test, so why should we use it during the year? I understand why they say this. This is true in most cases that math tools cannot be used on end of year tests. I mean, it varies depending on different situations. But we have to remember that through the use of math tools throughout the year, students are going to have deeply internalized and learned about that math concept. So then when the test time comes up, if it's a grade where there's an end of year test, the kids now have really understood whatever the math idea was and that concept. And so on the test, they're going to be successful because they have that understanding. It has been internalized. So here are tips for successful implementation of math tools from teachers. Number 1, give students explore time every time. It's just maybe 2 minutes. Set a timer and tell your students, We're about to use this object as a math tool, but first, here's your 2 minutes of explore time. It's your time to check out this tool before we use it as a math tool. You will find that students will appreciate this explore time to see what the tool feels like and looks like and so on. And then when it's time to focus and use it as a math tool, generally students are ready. Number 2, set clear expectations. Before ever passing out a math tool, share. This is how it can and cannot be used. For example, if students are going to be using geoboards with rubber bands, share explicitly. Rubber bands will not go flying across across the classroom. If they do, share the consequence that that student will lose the opportunity that day to use the math tool and will simply have to watch others. I can tell you, as I know you know, students don't want that. They want to be a part of having fun using the math tool. Number 3, model usage. This is how we're going to use the tool today. Number 4, consider the options that work best for your budget, your space, and your students. Do you want to provide math toolkits or toolboxes for each student where the items inside rotate over time and the students have choice? I've seen that work very successfully in different grades in classes. You could have a classroom helper job to restock the math toolkits regularly. Or would it be better in your space and with your budget for you and your students to have a math tools area in your classroom with math tools in plastic bins? Maybe consider having table group baggies or individual student amounts in baggies, whatever works best for your activity to save time and to be organized and for quick pass out and for quick collection. Our hope is that you found this second grade math tools math workshop very helpful for you and your students. If you want more support, I invite you to join our second grade math workshop community. When joining this private community with other second grade educators, you will gain access to a collection of math workshops, which take a deeper dive into understanding the second grade standards and the math tools that you will want to provide for your children. Monthly throughout the year, you will receive engaging hands-on activities to use with your students, lessons, games, and a lot more to support the second grade math standards. You can find out more information on how to register if you go to our website, themathworkshop.net, and go to the resources page and find your grade level. We thank you for your time and we hope you have a great year.